My name is Elunda Basson and I'm the Stellenbosch winemaker at the house of JC Le Roux in Devon Valley. We are located on the Devon Valley Road just outside of Stellenbosch. And today I'm going to talk you through our very popular Nougat and bubbly pairing that we're doing at the house of JC, where we try and have a little bit of fun but also make it very educational for our consumers to learn a little bit more about the variety of different types of bubblies out there. We compare carbonated, sweeter, low alcohol wines with brut MCCs and make it fun but educational in the process. So when we start tasting, normally we do from the driest to the sweetest. So the first one of the wines in the lineup is the JC Le Roux Pinot Noir. It's a pure Pinot Noir, 100% Pinot Noir grapes, and it's a vintage product of which we're selling the 2008 vintage at the moment. It's dry, it's got about 8 grams per litre of sugar. It's in the brut category and it's showing a lot of really nice, mature, bottle fermented lees contact and age, while still being nice and fresh for 2008. And in the nougat pairing we pair that with a nice dark bitter chocolate filled with nougat inside. And as most of you know, dark bitter chocolates work nicer with drier wines, where sweeter chocolates pair better with sweet wines. So the dark bitter chocolate goes well. Normally we recommend that you have a little bit of a taste of the wine, swirl it in your mouth, then have a little bit of a taste of the chocolate or the nougat, and then after that finish with a taste of the wine as well. And the whole idea of the pairing is that the wine needs to complement the nougat or the chocolate and vice versa, and the end experience needs to be better than the individual parts in between. Wine number 2 in the pairing is the Pinot Noir Rosé, also a vintage product, also a pure Pinot Noir, but a very popular summer wine in our range of dry, sparkling MCCs. And we pair that traditionally with a rose water flavored Turkish delight, which is delicious because it's nice and soft and squishy. The texture works nice with the bubbly, and because it's just got a little bit of a rose water flavor behind it, it doesn't overpower the soft berry fruit flavors of the Pinot Noir Rosé. So with the Pinot Noir Rosé, we try and go for a light salmon, slightly onion skin color, which is very typical of your traditional French champagne colors. Not too bright, not too pink. And on the flavor profile, because we get rosé wine from blending white and red wine, there's an additional little bit of extra Pinot Noir berry fruit in the rosé, which makes it really nice and fruity, especially in summer. So we pair that with the rose water Turkish delight, which is delicious. Wine number 3 is sort of our transitional wine in the range, where we move from dry brut sparklings into slightly sweeter. And with the Lavallée, we introduced an off-dry method, Cap Classique, so traditional French champagne method of wine preparation, but blended with a little bit more of a consumer-friendly sweet palate. And this is probably by far the most popular wine in this pairing. And we pair it with a delicious mango and macadamia nut nougat, which gives you a little bit of texture, gives you a little bit of added tropical fruit with a mango that goes lovely with a Lavallée, because it has a little bit of bottle maturation in. And because of the sugar at about 36 grams per litre, it really gives off a lot of sweet honey flavors that blend very nicely with the nougat and the mango fruit pieces in the nougat itself. Also the macadamia nut gives it a little bit of a texture, slightly more crunchy nougat, which is delicious. Then from the MCCs we go to the sweeter, low alcohol carbonated wines. These are the more well-known wines in the JC range. Nevertheless, we spend a lot of attention to detail in the winemaking process with La Fleurette, the pink version, and Le Domaine, the white version. We go through alcoholic fermentation, and when we get to 7.5 volume percent, we actually stop the fermentation. And in that process we really preserve all the fruit flavors, all the great berry characteristics that we get from Pinotage and Merlot, together with the lovely natural acidity of the Sauvignon Blanc grapes and the aromatics and the fruit behind the varieties like Muscat that we use for the white. So with La Fleurette, with its beautiful fruity pink sort of strawberries and cream feel to it, we have a lovely pink cranberry nougat, which is nice and fruity. It just brings out more of those red berry fruits that really dictate the style of this wine. Because it's lighter, it's lower in alcohol, it's a much more consumer-friendly, bubbly, and it's more of a summer wine. And when we look at our consumer profile, definitely a girl's drink. So remember, when you taste it, have a bit of a swirl and a sniff on the wine, blend it in your mouth, then have a little bit of the nougat and finish with a little bit of the wine as well. And the last wine in the range, the well-known JC Le Roux, which is basically Sauvignon and Muscat grapes blended percentage-wise, with a little bit of Chenin Blanc in additional varieties. It's all about purity of fruit, lots of aromatics, over-delivering on flavor, keeping the alcohol low and pleasant, and lots of bubbles, served cold and delicious in summer. And with that, the winning recipe is a plain, sweet white nougat covered in white milk chocolate. Delicious and sweet, nice way to finish the pairing, and obviously because the wine is one of our, probably our best known, definitely a nice way to finish off the pairing. So hopefully in there, something that you'll like, and maybe a little bit of a point of difference when you're having fun with a group of friends, and eventually at the end of it, leaving, having a pleasant experience, but also learning a little bit more about rugby. If I think of spring, it's always an exciting time of the year. Lots of things happening indoors, but especially outdoors. We're all becoming a bit more active, getting out there, moving around. Personally, I like to get out there, do some hiking. We love to camp as a family. My husband likes to dive, so we spend a lot of time at the beach. We've got two beautiful dogs, so we get out there and we get them a little bit of exercise. And I think it's time for us to get out and move, get active, get out there, spend some time in the vineyards, spend some time at the winelands, taste some lovely wines, and get into action. Spring's on its way.